Hey, you guys, hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new here. So, earlier today, I watched the most recent episode of Teen Mom OG. Hey, we got a new member. Hey, Kate, thank you for joining the LB family. Thank you. You guys, welcome, Kate. Thank you so much. You guys, you members are thebomb.com. So, earlier today, I watched the most recent episode of Teen Mom The Next Chapter, and I was Lord flabbergasted over Kate and Macy's reaction to the fact that Leah wants to be adopted by Christina, the woman that literally has raised her since she was like 4, like 4 years old. So we're gonna go over everything because I'm mind blown, you guys. Okay, so if you watch the episode, then you saw that Gary basically shared with the gang that Leah and Amber were not really on speaking terms, and that Leah had voiced her desire to be adopted by Christina. So they actually put up an article. I'm going to go off the Ashley's article, and then I have some clips that we're going to watch, and then I'm going to share my thoughts because I'm a little irritated about it. I'm not even going to lie. So Gary Shirley drops a bombshell during this week's episode of Teen Mom, the next chapter, during a guys trip with the other Teen Mom dads. So Corey Wharton, he decided that, they go on trips with the girls go on trips, but the guys have not had a trip just for them. So he decided, let's do a guys trip. I thought it was cool. I actually like watching the guys all hang out. I think it's kind of cool seeing like what the guys talk about when the women are not around. Seeing them kind of lean on each other for advice and stuff like that. I like that. So they go to I think it's Michigan, which is where Corey is from. That's where they go. They're gonna hit the slopes and everything. But after they get to their little cabin, they kind of start talking about how life is. They talk about the fact that the kids are starting to drive, like Bentley and Leah. Well, Gary appears to shock everyone when he reveals that Leah, who's 15 years old, has stated that she wants her stepmom, Christina, to adopt her. I don't know why this shocks anybody, really. I'm not shocked. Is anybody in here shocked that Leah wants Christina to adopt her? I'm not. Now, since Leah already has a mother in Amber Portwood, this news came as a shock to Gary's friends slash co-stars, who then discuss how Amber's own actions have led to this happening. And I was all in agreement with the men. Like Corey was like, hey, this is on Amber. Amber's the adult. Tyler, what did Tyler say? I wrote some notes here just so I could be sure to know what was said because I can't show everything because they'll copyright me. But Tyler, he was like, Christina is the same. And even at one point, Gary was like, I've always been so concerned with throwing Amber under the bus. And Tyler was like, stop being so concerned with throwing Amber under the bus. Like you need to be more concerned with Leah and how she feels. The guys were level headed. Like the girls were not the level headed ones in this episode. I was shocked, especially because Maci has been in Gary's exact position with Bentley. Like they've talked about that before. They've discussed that before. So the fact that she's acting like Gary's wrong in this was really shocking to me. Either way, Gary tells the guys Leah is wanting to be adopted by Christina. And they ask, like, would Christina be open to that? And he was like, yeah, she would do it in a heartbeat. Gary goes on to tell the guys that Amber, who has had an on again and off again relationship with Leah over the years, has no idea that Leah wants Christina to adopt her. Now, during a previous episode of Teen Mom, we watched Amber basically ruin Leah's birthday dinner by calling Leah a pecker. Except she didn't use that word. She used a word that was a little bit more vulgar that starts with a D and ends with a I-C-K. Okay? So she called her 15-year-old daughter the I-C-K. She was late to the dinner. Amber was. Amber was over an hour late to the dinner, then tried to gaslight everyone by telling them she was on time. And then when Gary asked Christina, what time is it? Amber got feisty and was like, why are you worried? Why are you worried? It was ridiculous. That dinner, I felt so bad for Leah. Like if I was Gary or Christina, I would have said right then and there, in my mind, we will never invite her to another dinner. No, we will not. We've tried, we've tried, we've tried. They can't keep trying for Amber and then it ruining their events. They've tried long enough. You know, I mean, I get it. I'm one of those parents. I'm one of those parents that I will try, I will try, I will try. But when it gets to the point to where the events that you are having for Leah for her special occasions are being ruined because her mom doesn't know how to act, that's when you really have to reevaluate the situation and say, what would be the best course of action right now? Do we have a birthday dinner and invite her? Or do we say, you know what? No, we're not going to invite her. And if Amber wants to do something with Leah, she knows when Leah was born, she had her. She'll reach out and say, hey, I would like to do something with Leah for her birthday. And we will go from there. But we're not going to let her and her bad attitude impede upon our good time with Leah and the memories that they are trying to make with her. Now, Gary reveals that Leah has not seen Amber since Leah's birthday, which was in November. So it had been 4 months since Amber had seen Leah. I don't know, but I can't go 4 months without seeing my children. That's what Tyler said too. Tyler was like, I can't go 3 days without talking to my kids, let alone 4 months. The dads discuss how crazy it is that Amber is okay with not speaking to or seeing her kid for that long. Gary says that it wasn't Leah's choice to not speak to her mom, and hence that it was due to Amber not reaching out. And we actually saw that in the episode because in the episode, Gary is in the kitchen with Christina and he's like, you know, I sent Amber a text and he reads the text to Amber. And his text to Amber, it was like, hey, I think you should consider reaching out to Leah, even if it's just a text message. You should consider reaching out to her. And Amber's response, let me show you guys her response. I took a screenshot of her response. Her response was, I can't see it that good on that one. Let me bring up the other ones that I have over here. I've texted and called her a million times. No answer. No answer back. I've done everything to be in her life and I've gotten crapped on. I never get to spend time with her. I'm excluded from all of her schooling and cross country still. I'm tired of being unhappy and fighting for attention from everyone. You would think I used to beat the out of her. You would think I used to beat the out of her, how I'm so excluded from her life. All I've done is beg for time and I get spit in the face. I'm not a horrible person and I'm a loving mother. I refuse to live a miserable life anymore. I've been here and I've been here and I hear absolutely nothing except a Merry Christmas from Christina. Go, Amber. I don't know what go. I don't know. Yeah. So she says she's been a good mom. She's tried that she doesn't get anything back from Leah. But here's the thing: you are still the adult. You are still the parent. If my child did not live with me and live with their parent, guess what? Every day I would have my clock set. Every day I'm texting. She might not respond today, but maybe she will tomorrow. Maybe if my child sees that I'm consistent in reaching out to her, she will realize how bad I really do want to talk to her. You know, maybe every day. Hey, honey, hope you're having a great day. I love you. Hey, honey, this weekend, a new movie's coming out. Would love to take you. Hey, honey, saw this on TV. It's a great show. Have you watched it? Try to have a conversation with her. Let Leah know that you are actually trying and that you're not texting just because you feel like that's what you need to do. Because that's kind of what I feel like more than likely Amber is doing. Like, I don't feel like Amber's reaching out to really try to have a relationship. She's just reaching out because that's kind of what she knows she's supposed to do. But she's not getting a response because more than likely her texts are very flat. You know what I'm saying? Like, probably Leah can tell you're not really trying to talk to me. You're just texting to say that you text more than likely. But Amber's worse than Janelle, if you ask me. Some people would say so. All right. Let's get back to this. We have some clips we're going to be watching. Now, Gary reveals to the guys that Leah feels like there's been a lot of damage that's been done. But he says he thinks it is salvageable But Leah would need Amber to be very consistent and be there all the time. The other guys then discuss how it's Amber's responsibility to reach out. Exactly. It's Amber's responsibility. And you don't give up after a few days. You don't give up after a few weeks. You don't give up after a few months. This is the same thing that I told Sugar Bear, Honey Boo Boo's daddy. Same thing I told him. Reach out, reach out, reach out. And it may take some time. You have to be consistent. Tyler says, there is no other way to build trust. It's consistency, consistency, consistency. Gary says Amber is the mother. Amber is the one that has to try. It's never going to be Leah's fault if she's not talking to you because Amber, you're the reason it's that way in the first place. Gary goes on to say that he has always tried to portray Amber in a positive light for Leah. He says, I don't want to throw Amber under the bus with Leah. For so many years, I've tried not to throw her under the bus. Tyler says, can we stop doing that? Can we stop worrying about throwing Amber under the bus? Corey Wharton says, Leah has now realized that she's not number one in her mom's eyes. Once a kid realizes that, it's a wrap. It's done. I agree. It may not be a complete wrap, but it's going to take a while for that child to want to be a part of your life. When your child realizes that they're not number one in your life and your new, flavor of the month is your priority, then it's going to take more. And that's what Leah said in this past episode. Gary was like, Leah, have you heard from your mom? And she said, no, she's got a new boyfriend, so I'm not going to hear from her. So this, to me, which makes me feel like it's a pattern. Leah knows when mom's dating someone else, she don't really reach out to me. And that's very sad. Now, later on in the episode, Amber's OG pals, Maci and Catelynn, discuss the situation because Tyler called Catelynn and was like, hey, have you talked to Amber? She's like, oh, yeah, I did reach out to her today just because I was thinking about her. And Tyler was like, so Gary just told us that Amber hasn't really been reaching out to Leah and that Leah wants to be adopted by Christina. And Catelynn was like, oh, that's really going to trigger Amber. That's going to upset Amber. And Tyler was like, yeah, it will, but it is what it is. Yeah, it's definitely going to trigger Amber. And she's just going to have to learn how to deal with it. She's going to have to face that. It is what it is. Well, Catelynn gets off the phone with Tyler and then calls Maci and tells Maci, so have you heard from Taylor? Because Tyler just called me and said that Gary is telling them that Leah wants to be adopted by Christina. Maci, she is offended. And she's like, Gary, I like Gary, but Gary shouldn't be going around telling people crap like this. We have some clips that we're going to watch because I have some words to say about that. Because I'm like, first off, they're on a guy's trip with men that Gary has been friends with for many years. So the same way, Maci Bookout, when you went on the girls' trip all those years ago and you confided in your friends that Ryan was an addict, and that's when it, I think that was when it first came out that he had a problem, maybe. Was it? What wasn't it Maci that they were on a girls' trip and Maci confided in the girls that Ryan was an addict and nobody, we suspected it, but we didn't know for sure at that point. So I'm like, Maci, you literally talk to your friends about whatever. You talk to Taylor about stuff. You are on national television talking about things. So why can't Gary go on a guy's trip and talk to his friends? If he wants to, he can. So we're going to watch a few clips. All right. Bear with me, guys.
How was it with Amber?
All right. And I'm using this clip in fair use because this is a commentary channel. So Viacom, don't get me. All right, let's see if we can find it.
With Amber.
Actually, Leah hasn't seen Amber since her birthday.
Oh, that's crazy, bro.
You want to hear
I'm very.
Is that Leah's choice? You
No.
probably. Oh.
So Leah is kind of the damage is like almost it's all done. Leah is like wanting to be adopted by Christina.
Look at their faces. He's like, so, and I did cut a lot of that out. I cut a lot of things that happen in between just for copyright purposes because I know they'll try to get me. But when he says that, when he's like, Leah wants to be adopted by Christina, everybody goes silent because you want to know why? I feel they're like, oh crap, the monster's gonna come out. Oh crap, you know?
It's like it's all done. Leah is like wanting to be adopted by Christina.
Wait, does Christina want to adopt Leah?
I didn't like edit that to put in silence. They were really silent for that.
Christina would in a heartbeat.
Does Amber know she said? Does she knows nothing about? Okay, all right.
So this is him telling them, you know, like the damage is done. She wants to be adopted, but Amber is not aware of this yet. So let's watch something else really quickly. If I can get my computer to work, bear with me, guys. Okay. Now here we're gonna watch Maci and Catelynn talk about it, and I cut several clips of that out as well.
The Amber.
Actually,
Nope.
Leah.
That's not the right one. Sorry, guys. Maybe this is it.
Was it with Amber?
Actually, Leah.
Why is it not? Let me see. I don't know what. Oh, it's not downloading right. Give me just a second. There it is. Okay. I think we got it.
Taylor tell you what Gary told the guys last night?
No, what did he say?
Well, Tyler told me that I guess Leah is asking Christina if she'll adopt her.
Really?
Yeah. Here I am sitting knowing this information. It makes me feel like a friend. Do I tell her and then she's going to freak out? Because she's going to freak out. That's going to trigger her in so many ways.
Yeah, no. I love Gary to death, but that pisses me off because Gary shouldn't be going around telling people like this. Like, that's not fair.
So he's supposed to just hold that in. He's literally on a guy's trip for them to talk about what's been going on in their lives, how their kids are doing. And that's a big thing, you know, that Gary is dealing with. And he could talk to them and get some advice, but he can't talk to them about that for what? Because he's going to hurt a 35-year-old woman's feelings. And then them feeling like we may have to tell her. Why? First y'all say Gary needs to tell her, then later on they're like, we may have to be the ones to tell her. Absolutely not. No, because Gary absolutely never said Christina is going to adopt Leah. He never said, you know, we're even really thinking about it. He just said that's what Leah wants. Nowhere did Gary say, so we're going to move forward with this. He just said that's what Leah wants. And here's the thing, unless they really wanted to move forward with it, why did Amber even need to know? If it was just a discussion where Leah was like, you know, I want Christina to adopt me at one point. Until she was like, hey, I really want her to adopt me. And I want, like, how can we get this done? I want to start the process now. There's no point in telling Amber until that time comes. So him talking about it to his friends, now y'all feel that Amber has to be alerted. And at first you say that he needs to do it, but now you're saying you should do it.
This is a hard and sketchy situation.
It's a huge thing. And
Yes.
it's going to affect Amber's mental health.
100%. It's literally throwing a fire on a whole thing of gasoline.
Another thing is, I didn't like the way that Maci said this is a sketchy situation. What's sketchy about it? What do you mean it's sketchy? To me, I'm like, are you trying to say that like Gary and Christina is like filling Leah's head? What's sketchy about it? Thank you so much, Haley. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What is sketchy about the fact that a girl that has been raised by her stepmom since she was like 4, and her mom just ruined her birthday party 4 months prior. She ain't heard nothing from her since. while her stepmom literally acts in all like in every way as her mom. Her saying, you know what, I really would like her to adopt me. What's sketchy about that? When you use the word sketchy, it makes me feel like you're implying that like something shady's going on. And a 15-year-old saying they want to be adopted by the woman that's been raising them the majority of their life is not sketchy. Right? So, anyways, this really irritated me because I really thought more of Maci and Catelynn. Like, if anything, I thought that Maci absolutely understood it because she's dealt with that with Bentley. Maci has dealt with that with Bentley before. Whenever she was dating, I think it was Kyle. Like whenever she was dating Kyle, she talked about, her and Kyle getting married and the possibility of Kyle adopting Bentley. And then I think they've even talked about it in regards to Taylor. So him just talking about it while on a vacation with a bunch of his male friends, nothing sketchy about it. Nothing wrong with it. Doesn't mean he needs to go tell Amber just because it's been brought up. And it doesn't mean you need to tell Amber. Sketchy is a man destroying the home his children reside in. Exactly. Exactly. I've always liked Maci, but this was one. No. Says I used to dislike Gary, but he really stepped up and really seems to put Leah's needs over everything else. Christina is amazing too, and I'm glad Leah has such a good relationship with her. Same. Yeah, Kate should have kept her mouth shut when Ty confided in her. Absolutely. Like if Taylor wanted to go home and tell Maci, then he could. But Tyler called you, told you about it, then you turn right around and tell Maci. That's sketchy and shady. Anyways, a few notes here. So Leah has not talked to her mom in 4 months. Another thing that here's what's funny, right? And I had to clip this part out just for I had to try to make sure it wasn't that I didn't use a full clip from the show without cutting bits and pieces out. One of the bits that I cut out whenever Catelynn tells Maci, well, Tyler called me and said that Gary told him that Leah wants to be adopted by Christina. One of the things that Maci said, she said, well, has Amber been communicating with Leah like she was? The fact that a mother would ask if another mother has been communicating with her 15-year-old child like she was, should tell you right there, should tell you there that's not a normal situation. If you got a question, well, has she been communicating with her daughter with Leah like she was at one point? If Amber was a very consistent mother and was there in Leah's life the way that she should be, that wouldn't even be a question. Thank you so much, Ashley, for the super sticker. I appreciate that so much. Thank you. Thank you. Only shady thing is Leah is not dumb. She sees her mom's true colors and she knows, she knows how horrible her mother is. And listen, I had Amber on my channel the other day and with her fiance went missing, and I felt bad for her about that. However, it doesn't change the fact that I disagree with the way that she is as far as being a mom. It doesn't change that when I saw the episode of the birthday dinner, I was livid. I was like, this is why, this is the part of you, Amber, that causes all the problems with everyone. It's this right here, you being this way. Because I do think we've seen Amber in times where she can be super nice, I've talked to people that know her that say she can be super generous, that she can be really nice. But there is that, side of Amber that is not. And that is the side that affects everyone, affects your relationships with everyone, affects your relationships with your children. That's it. And that is what you need to get a hold of. Yeah, Amber said Leah hasn't reached out to her. You're the mom, you reach out to Leah. Oh, thank you, Ashley. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. And another thing too, yep, they flew in to support Amber when she went to court for the Andrew Clinton situation. They sure did. They flew right on in and went to court with her. So, also in the episode, there was a clip of Gary and Leah where she literally said, like, if it wasn't for James, she would have no relationship with her mom. So we're going to watch that really quickly. And I thought that was very sad. Because this is a 15-year-old. Like,
Seen Amber.
Sorry. This is a 15-year-old acknowledging at 15 she's done. She's to the point where, like, if it wasn't for her brother, she would be done. She's like, if it wasn't for my brother, like, I probably wouldn't have a relationship with her. But the only way I can see my brother is through her. She said, so I just hope we have a mature relationship. That is a 15-year-old talking. So I just hope we can have a mature relationship.
So, co-parent, and I'm trying hard to keep Amber fresh here in a relationship with her daughter.
With my relationship with my mom, I hope that we can still have, like, maybe speaking terms and stuff, but I feel like that's mostly, like, for, like, the sake of James, because, like, he's my brother, and I would definitely push for a relationship with him, and that's basically my only way to, like, see him right now is through her, so I'm hoping for just, like, a mature relationship together.
And here's the thing. She's 15 years old. She's only going to get wiser. She's only going to become more mature. And she's only going to realize more and more and more. So, Amber, if you want your child in your life, you are going to have to get it together. You are going to have to be the one to reach out and be consistent. And Maci and Kate, if you guys are going to do anything, rather than getting upset with Gary about anything, the fact that you can get upset with Gary because he talked to his friends when you ain't upset with Amber for getting arrested for domestic violence in front of her son, no, we're going to go to court and we're going to support her for that. But you're going to say Gary is wrong for doing what he's doing. When have we ever seen a post or Maci or Catelynn on the show say Amber is wrong for that? Like, I like Amber and all, but that was bullshit. But we're going to see them say that about Gary? Like, what? That's so backwards. Too bad Gary can't figure out some other way to see James. I know, and that's the thing. Is because now James lives in California. Like, Amber has to fly to California to see James. The next month, James flies to Indiana. But the whole time he's here, he's with Amber. If there was some way that Gary could talk to Andrew and say, hey, when you come in for the visit, is there any way, like, maybe you could stay an extra day and we'll get together and let the kids see each other or something like that? But Leah literally told us, like, said in that, like, I just hope we can have a mature relationship. But if it wasn't for my brother, she literally implied. She said the only way I can have a relationship with my brother is through my mom. So Maci gets more and more annoying. I'm not happy with Maci lately. How about Maci and Kate be honest to Amber for once? Exactly. No one calls her out. They aren't helping Leah one bit by enabling Amber. I agree. Yes, it's monthly visits for James and Amber. So 1 month, Amber flies to California. 1 month, Andrew and James flies to Indiana. Leah has told Amber on TV what she wants on TV. What she wants. It's really up to her now to be the mother that Leah needs. Exactly. Amber has to take responsibility for Leah's trauma and pain, period. She has to sincerely apologize and then do better and stay consistent. That's the only way to maybe save the relationship. And that's the thing, is I don't think Amber's even thinking about all the trauma that she's inflicted upon Leah. I don't think she's thinking about, Leah growing up without her mom. Leah growing up, with a mom that was in jail for a few years. Leah growing up with the world kind of mocking Amber and laughing at Amber over certain things, chasing your fiance with a machete, getting arrested. Like, Leah probably, I mean, she just got an Instagram. I seen it. I mean, she may have had it for a little bit longer, but I remember when they were discussing the possibility of Leah having a social media account. And I remember thinking, like, ooh, because she's going to see how much people dislike her mom and how is that going to affect her. That's something else that Amber has to consider. Due to her actions, most of the world don't really agree with her and they dislike her and they voice that. How is that going to affect Amber? I mean, Leah. Even if Leah may be upset with her mom, may not want a relationship with her mom, whatever, I'm sure it still hurts her feelings to see people trash her mom. I can't imagine what Leah has to hear in school about Amber. Exactly. I don't think Amber thinks about everything. I think Amber only thinks about Amber and how she's affected by things. The truth is, none of these kids' lives should be fodder for a TV show. But I'm definitely part of the problem because I tune in every day. But I know. Unfortunately, poor Leah has a callus on her heart with Amber. They will probably never connect the way that they should. To Amber, everything's about her. Leah is an afterthought. Yeah, I think you're right. And here's the thing, like, Amber goes to therapy. Why don't she bring Leah? Like, which I do know at one point Leah didn't want to go, but I do hope at some point if Leah wants a relationship with her mom, that she will consider going to therapy to work on that. Kate has boundaries for April. So I would think she could relate to Leah in some way and respect it instead of worrying about worrying about Amber being mad. Exactly. So, Kate, you set boundaries with your mom, and you have been estranged from your mom for breaking your boundaries. But rather than looking at it that way and saying, I know Leah's only 15 years old, but look at her mom. She should be able to establish boundaries. Like, you think Leah should have to walk on eggshells around Amber, accept everything that Amber does just because she's the kid and Amber's the mom? I don't think so. Amber will never get those years back with Leah and James. James will grow up resenting Amber too. Amber has said the word sorry many times, but her actions never follow, which is consistent rejection to poor Leah. And you really think Catelynn would understand? Exactly. Amber needs to acknowledge Leah's trauma. That's part of the problem. I agree. Leah even said Amber has a better, different relationship with James than with her. No kid should have to walk on eggshells around their parents. I agree. Yes. So this episode, not gonna lie, blew me away. I was happy to see the guys all get together. That interests me. I'm like, what are they going to talk about? Like, I can't wait to see. We see the girls together all the time. We see the girls and the guys together, drinking, partying, whatever. So whenever Corey, talked to Taylor and was like, I want to get the guys together, I was like, I'm down for this. I want to see this. And I thought it was interesting. I like seeing them kind of all bounce ideas off each other and kind of talk to each other about their lives. And the guys were much more like realistic than Catelynn and Maci were. They were like, no, it's time to stop worrying about throwing Amber under the bus. Like, you have protected Amber long enough. Leah she's old enough. She's understanding what her mom is and, who her mom's priority is and that it's not her. So I was shocked to see the guys like understand it so much, but not the girls. Also, Brianna DeJesus on her segment of the show, like, Devon was like, I can't keep like going and getting them from school every day. It's too much. So we need to maybe put them on the bus. And Brianna was like, the bus? I don't know about the bus. She asked the girls, would you girls want to ride the bus? And they were like, nope. So they like switched their schools. So they didn't even have to ride the bus. I'm so sick of Janelle. I'd rather see Barb. Isn't Janelle dating someone else? But I thought they already broke up. They have already broke up. She was talking to her manager August, but they quit talking. Janelle and August should be on the show next week, but on the show, they are friends. But at this point on July 19th, 2024. They are not talking. And now August has unfollowed Janelle on social media and has started following David Easton on social media. My husband and I were in a Gary, Christina, Amber situation with his ex. She also had bad mental health issues and, oh my goodness, ended up taking her life. The support they provide Amber helps ensure Leah will have a mother. Wow, that's horrible. And that is something, you know. I guess I'm sitting on here like, Amber needs to understand, and she does, but I would hate for that to happen. I would really hate for Amber to ever do that. So who follows David? So Janelle Easton started talking to a new guy named August, her manager. She literally up and left North Dakota and went to Las Vegas because that's where he lives. She's been renting an Airbnb in Vegas, but now her and him are not talking. Janelle and August have seemingly split, and August stopped following Janelle on social media and started following David, which he wasn't. You guys, I know it looks like I have a booger, but this is my nose ring. Let me twist it. I'm so sorry. Did it go back in there? Yeah. I don't like these types of nose rings because if they twist the wrong way, they're poking out of your nose. I normally do the hoop, but I lost my hoop. Does Amber and James get along? I don't know. I hope so. Why are Maci and Catelynn friends? Someone who is violent and is neglectful towards. I know. Like, why would you be friends with somebody like that? I have no idea. Oh, thank you, Healing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I just started wearing one of these because, like I said, I lost my hoop, and I don't like the way it pokes out of your nose sometimes. Anyways, you guys, this episode, I just had to talk about that. I just had to talk about the way the guys handled it versus the way Maci and Catelynn handled it. I thought it was wild. Amber's mental health is not Leah's burden to carry. Exactly. Is there any updates on the custody case? You guys, at the time, I can't really talk about anything with the custody case. I'm sorry. I know everybody was waiting for me to go live yesterday, and I just couldn't. I mean, I went live, but I couldn't say anything. Leah has said that Amber is great with James in the show in the past. She did say that Amber has a better relationship with James. So, yeah. Amber needs people to stop catering to her. Exactly. Yep. There will be more. They were more than friends on the last episode. You could tell by the way they were looking at each other. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, you guys. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. Like, share, subscribe. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please do me a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button. We will continue to keep up with this situation. If Leah ever does end up adopted by Christina, obviously, we'll talk about it here. I'm not opposed to it. I mean, if Amber is sick and tired of trying, if she's like, I don't want to beg to be a part of anybody's life, then okay, then let her do her thing then. Let her go have the mama that she wants, you know? We'll keep up with that. Also, we are keeping up with the Mama June versus Michael Carwell custody case. All things Mama June, all things Janelle Easton, we keep up with right here. So if you are not subscribed to the channel, please do me a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next one. Oh, and on your way out, hit the thumbs up button because it really helps. Bye, guys.